Hello, good morning, everyone. Morning, Benny. Good morning, Gianluca. Good morning, Kalani and Kate and Kirsten. Hope you all are doing well. All right.
Hi, Khou. Sorry, I was getting situated.
No worries. While we wait, I'll go ahead and play some music. righty. Well, good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with the day. Thank you so much for joining this morning. I hope that for those of you who joined in for trivia last night, heard that students had a great time, and it extended till close to 7 p.m. And so thank you so much for joining. I know that tomorrow there'll be a Netflix party, so I definitely encourage you all to join in on that next Netflix party if you're able to tomorrow. And that information should be coming out later today, and we'll share that out with you all. So before we begin, I know I had the music playing, and we still had students coming in after 9 a.m. So my question to you all is, what time does our advising class start?
9.
9. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. So I want to, I don't want to, call people out or anything, but I just want you all to please be mindful of when our class starts. And this is in preparation for your fall semester, right? I know some students have issues with internet access, reliable internet, but again, I just want to prep you all for the fall semester. You may have some faculty, especially if you're meeting, synchronously, right? So if you have class at 9 a.m., you may have some professors who will lock students out if you come after 9 a.m., okay? And so I'm sure you've heard that saying, 5-10 minutes early is on time, and that on time at that 9 o'clock you're late, right? So please do show up at the 9 a.m. Even if it's a little bit before 9 a.m. That's totally fine, just so that we can get started, since we do have a lot of materials to cover and in such a short amount of time. Okay, so I just please ask that of you all. Alrighty. So I know yesterday, going back to having our guest speaker, Dr. Jones, join in and with the speech and sharing his story with you all, I did put it into our Canvas course as far as a discussion. So thank you to the students who did put in there. If you haven't, I do ask that you please go ahead and reply to that discussion. One thing I'm going to do with that is share that with your professor, your University 102 first year experience professor, so that they know, the discussions that we've been having, and they can prepare for how to move forward in the fall semester with you all, okay? And so I know we didn't have a chance to really reflect and debrief after Dr. Jones had shared his story with us. And so I wanted to take some time this morning to be able to reflect, right? What were some takeaways that that resonated with you with what Dr. Jones shared? And a big thing for me when I'm meeting with my students is, what is your why? I want to know what your why is, because if you don't know why you're in college or why you're doing this, and when things get tough, my students who don't know their why get a little bit lost. For the students who know their why, to their core, why they're in college, what are they doing here? When things get tough, I bring them back to their why, right? Why are you here? And let's keep your eye on the prize, right? Being a college student, you're going to make some sacrifices. Sacrifices hanging out with friends, right? And right now we're in shelter in place, and so that looks a little bit different. But maybe Netflixing all day, or sleeping in late, or staying up late, right? So there are sacrifices that you will have to make as you progress and as you move through your journey as a college student. And so I just want to keep that in mind. What is your why, and why are you doing this, so that it can help ground you in the things that you do as you move forward, okay? So what I'd like to do is I'm trying to make this interactive, so I'll put you all into the pair, into a pair. Hopefully I have enough students to be here with a pair today. And one thing that I heard in our first day of class was that some of the fears, right? I'm afraid that I might fall behind. I'm afraid that I'm going to procrastinate or not do my work. And so I went to a workshop a couple years ago by Dr. Jamie Washington. And he does a lot of work on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in that space together, he had us partner up with someone, and that person was my high five partner. Okay, and so whenever I see that person on campus or virtually in this setting, I check in with my high five partner. Check in, how are you doing? Hold each other accountable. How's your work going? What's new? And it's a way to bring connection and knowing that this is my high five partner, and no matter what, I know I can rely on my high five partner to check in with me, right? And so I think this is really a great partnership. And so what I'm going to do is put you into random selection. So whoever you're with, that person will be your high five partner, okay? And so when we're able to see each other in person, when you see them, give them a high five, or a 6 feet away high five, and check in with each other throughout the academic year. And this also will help to create that connection and relationship as well. Okay, and so I appreciate it when I see my high five partner. She worked in the pre-collegiate department at Sonoma State, and this summer she decided to move on from Sonoma State and is living out of state, I think in Nevada or Arizona. And so, but no matter what, I know that I can always count on my high five partner. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this breakout. And so this will go back, so please go ahead and talk with your high five partner. The questions that I posed in our class, okay, for our discussion. So as a reflection of Dr. Jones's story, please share what were 3 takeaways for you from Dr. Jones's speech, from his story. What is your why? Why are you in college? What's your purpose, right? And what are 2 to 3 goals for your first semester at SSU? What is your plan, your strategy to reach these goals? And then I'll also throw in there, as a high five partner, how can you support your partner? What would you like from your high five partner, whether it's accountability or just to check in, or to do a study group together if you all are taking the same classes together, right? And so I'm going to do the breakout rooms now, right? So just bear with me. Okay, so you may have 2 to 3 people. Kirsten?
Hi, sorry. Can you type those questions into the chat?
Yes.
Just so I can refer back to them, because I already forgot some.
Yes, I will do that. And then once you all go into your breakout room, I'll also do a messaging out into the breakout room as well. So thank you for that. How can your high five partner or partners, if you have 3 people in your room, support you? All right, so I'm going to do automatic and go ahead and accept and join your breakout room and discuss. And we'll do a 5-minute discussion, okay? And we'll go and I'll put you all in there, open all the rooms. All righty, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice conversation with your high five partner or partners. So let's have a conversation discussion. I like to hear what each group, we had 9 different breakout groups, I believe it was 9, who connected. What were some key takeaways for you all as far as, you know, what you took away from Dr. Jones's story yesterday?
I'll go. I kind of took away that you need to have self-discipline, and you need to keep yourself accountable and make sure you're working on time, you're getting up, you're going to class. Because if you miss one, you miss 2, it's a snowball effect, and then you end up failing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tucker. One thing that for me is important is that what you do today, your actions equals your success, right? You know, and so what you do today, it's going to affect you 5 years from now. And so that self-discipline is really key. I didn't know it when I was in my 20s, as a young adult. I didn't realize that what I was going through would set me up for my future, right? I knew I had to go to college. It just, you know, everyone's telling me you have to go to college, you have to go to college. So it was the next thing after high school. But it's really helped to set that foundation. So what you're doing now is setting that foundation for your future. And that comes along with that self-discipline and holding yourself accountable. So thank you for that, Tucker. Tucker, I'm going to ask you to popcorn someone so that we can go with that popcorning. Please.
I'll popcorn Jose.
Thank you.
So something my group talked about was the no excuses, just solutions. And or what I said for that was that when something happens to us, like something bad, we tend to feel pity for ourselves instead of doing something about it and going forward with it. And so I think that's something that's really important, just to keep on going no matter what happens, because everything that happens to you is something to learn. You can learn something, even if it's bad. You can always take something good from it.
Thank you so much.
Popcorn to Dylan.
Thank you, Jose.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go back to Tucker. Like, I'm agree with him. I think discipline is like what he took away from him. Now I say, because of experience, like I got to the point one day that I was like so done with like the process of like high school, and I was like, you know what, I can't do it. Like, it's just not for me. Like, maybe I'm not even meant for school. And it was just my mind telling me I couldn't do it. And my mom sat down with me. Well, my guardian. I call her mom, but she's not my mom, if it makes sense. But I sat down with her and she told me about discipline. She was like, it's just your mind telling you can't do it. But if you put yourself and you try hard enough and you like pull yourself in the mentality that you can do it, like you can. Like, you just have to make sure you do it. It's like you just have to make sure that you try out and that you sorry, it's my little dog, he gets crazy. and and that yeah, it's just, that's what I took away the most from him. And it was not just an advice, but it was a confirmation, like to like myself, to prove it that I was right when I was like every time I would wake up and I was like, nope, I had to do it. Like, it's just like I have to. It's not if I want to, I have to do it. It's just it's the better for us, not the better for the excuse. Yeah, that's what I kind of talked about in the group.
Thank you, Dylan. I'll just kind of add to that, like to what you said and what Jose had just said too. And what comes up for me when I'm working with my students, and also just as human beings, right? We feel afraid to fail, right? And so sometimes we don't step out of our comfort zone because we're afraid of that rejection or that failure. And so we don't move forward with doing whatever it is, that we want to do, right? So dream big, and it's okay to fail. It's okay you have to start somewhere. And so even though you may not feel comfortable, you may feel, defeated, take that one step, because you don't know where that one step will take you, right? And so thank you for sharing that. And again, that self-discipline. I know my colleagues, they share with me, well, Khou, how do you do it? You're working full time, you have 3 kids, you have your family, so it's like, how do you do it? It's like, well, exactly what Della said, I just know I have to do it. And so I get it done. And even though that may mean sacrificing some sleep or sleeping in, I just know that I have to meet deadlines and timelines, and also try to be the best mother and wife. And so you just keep going. So thank you, Dylan. Dylan, can you popcorn someone, please?
Yes. I would just add something real quick to what you said. Like, it's okay to fail. I used to be like, I'm that kind of person that I like perfection sometimes. So I'm like, I can't fail. But there's this one quote I learned when I was first learning English. I saw a poster on my teacher's classroom, and it said, make mistakes and learn from them. And it was like, what does that mean? Like, I had no idea what it meant, and I just asked it, and that's what. And I've always took that quote to myself. It's not just because it was the first quote that I learned about life, like the first quote that I learned in English, because in Spanish it's different. Like in Spanish we have like no quotes. It's just different the way we like deliver messages. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And I'll pop popcorn to Celine.
My partner and I talked about how Dr. Jones said that he didn't kind of say it, but what he meant behind his story about how he was how he continued college even though there was a lot of challenges in order to him to get to college, and that he was, so he said don't let anything stand between you and your future. I guess that's what I got from the story that he shared. And I popcorn to Esmeralda.
Hi. Oh yeah, Jose was in my group, so he kind of spoke a little bit. But why do I want to go to college? For the longest time, actually, before I started my senior year, I was convinced I wasn't gonna go to college. I'm like, I'm going to community college. Like my grades aren't good. Like no one's gonna want me. It was that self-doubt, it was more that inner voice that I let take control to dictate how I saw myself or how my drive was, but there was so many people in my life, like counselors or teachers or my sister, that would pull me up and say, no, Esme, you got this, Esme, you do this, because I was struggling with mental health too. That was a huge thing as a result of stuff that was happening in my life. So it was how can I progress and how can I see my potential, So that's just going to college, because I knew it's if you have that mental capacity, you have that drive deep down inside, and you're just letting the I guess the surface level temporary affect you, it'll affect your future as well. So yeah, it was very much a support system that helped me realize that yeah, I do have the capability and the intelligence to make it through college and whatnot. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Esmeralda. With that self-doubt, I know for me, I have to reframe things, right? And I myself have, gone through mental health and depression and, that imposter syndrome, I don't know if I can do this. And so one thing that a routine that I've set up almost every morning, and I've noticed that when I don't do it, I don't have the best day. And so it's telling myself that I am right? I can do it and I will do it. And so it's instead of the I can't, right? Or I don't know if I can do this. This is too much. And so changing it to I am. This may be tough, but I'm going to go through it. And there's been days where I have my self doubt and my imposter syndrome. And my favorite phrase that helped me do through each day was, "Today shall pass, and I will get through it." Yes, that positive affirmations, the affirmations. And so I hope that as you all, again, embark on this journey, finding your support system, utilizing, the resources that we offer at Sonoma State. We have our counseling and psychological services. You all pay for that. And so you have amazing, psychologists and therapists there to support you. We have different support groups. And I know for me as a college student, in my undergrad and graduate years, that really helped. My therapist really helped me to, to stay grounded, right? And some folks, they may not want to see a therapist, and so finding your support, your friend, your high five partner, just to listen and to affirm that, hey, you can do this. So thank you for that. Esmeralda, can you popcorn someone, please?
Giselle.
So from yesterday's discussion, like Tucker had previously mentioned about the self-discipline, I really connected with that. And I feel like that's because I'm really in my head a lot, and I'm such a perfectionist. Like I can't do, in my brain, I like get in my head that something's not worth doing if you can't do it right. And with self-discipline, like it kind of helped me in high school, like to get things done then and there, because if I put it off or if I waited like to the last minute, it wasn't going to come out the way I wanted it to. And then that was going to have like effects within itself. And a lot of people didn't understand why I was wired that way, or why it meant so much to me. And I think at the time I didn't even really know it myself. I just knew like that was the way I was wired and that's the way it had to be. But like now I know like it benefited me in some way, even though in the moment it didn't feel like it. But yeah, I just really connected with that part because I related so much to that, because that's just basically like my whole life. Like that's just how my mind is wired.
Thank you for sharing, Giselle. What comes to mind for me is give yourself permission to be okay, right, with the results. Sometimes I as I'm meeting with students, they say, "Oh, I didn't do well in my class," and so I ask them, "Well, what does that mean for you?" Well, I have a B, and I really wanted that A. It's like, okay, well, give yourself permission, knowing all the different things that that a student has to go through. Sometimes it's us who set that standard really high, right? And so we're competing with ourselves. And so, one thing I like to share is give yourself permission to relax, to breathe, have fun, but not too much fun, right? So that you can, do well in college. So thank you for sharing, Giselle. Giselle, can you popcorn someone, please?
Yeah, I'll popcorn Sandra.
Yeah, so what me and my partner talked about was like self-discipline, and what my partner said was about not making yourself like the victim, not victimizing yourself. And I think that was really important of what he said, because like now that we're in college, we have so much more responsibilities, and someone is not going to be always telling us like, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. And that's just like very like important, because I know myself, I have trouble like doing things on time just because like of my schedule and everything. but now I'll try to like more like, oh, have things ready and be like more in advance, be more proactive about things now. And then what we talked about also was like what we can do for each other, was to be like, oh, like they keep on talking to each other, and like if we need help to like ask for it. And yeah, and then I'll popcorn to Olivia.
Hi. So I didn't attend the Zoom yesterday, but like I'm getting like a lot of like things. Like I'm actually writing down what people are saying about like Dr. Jones and like what he said and stuff. And I say like the way I'm like relating to this is like not just through school, it's like through sports. Cause I played softball like almost all of my life. And I was always so like hard on myself and stuff. And actually to the point where like I got mad at myself like every single game, and it would just ruin like everything. And so like the way I took it as like when I would get mad at myself, like my teammates would always like try to like help me and stuff, but I had to learn like it's okay to mess up. Like you can't always have a perfect game, like you can't always like strike everybody out and stuff like that. So I just like had to learn like it's okay to like not be the most perfect player. Like you're still gonna make it somewhere. Like everybody has mistakes, and that's just like something you have to learn through life, is that you can't be perfect all the time. So yeah, that's what I kind of took away from that. Can I popcorn to Johnny?
Thank you so much, Olivia. And then Johnny will be our last student to share, and then we're going to transition to some materials in preparation for next week.
All right, so my 3 takeaways were that discipline will get you through college. So that means like if you're feeling lazy for whatever reason, if you have discipline, that that will help you get things done. And I remember he also said not to victimize yourself, and instead work around your obstacles. And yeah, those are my takeaways.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Johnny. And thank you everyone for sharing and having these discussions in your breakout room. And again, please go ahead and into our discussion on our Canvas page so that you can also write that down so that I can take note of that, okay? So, some things that I just want to impart with you all is, Sandra had talked about that self-discipline and sometimes not doing things, right? And so I want you to think about, what are your habits? What are your good habits and what are your bad habits, right? Particularly as a student. And if you do have those bad habits, right, procrastinating, hey, I procrastinate. How can you change that, right? What are some things that you can do? What are some steps that you can do to change those study habits? Some of you, maybe you didn't have to do much to in your classes. College, it's not going to be like that. You're going to have to do the work to be able to, to do well, right? And so think about, what are those habits that you want to change, and how can you start that now? Okay, and Summer Bridge is a great way to help you get your footing and transition out of those bad habits into good habits. And it takes time, right? And so the more you do it, the more you become familiar, and you change your ways of doing, right? And then I always say, no one teaches you how to be an adult, right? You'll hear the term adulting. I'm adulting. And so you all are in this transition of your life. And so no one teaches you how to be an adult. It's like, okay, well, you're 18 and here you go. And so, again, it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them and grow. If you're not growing, then, you're not changing. And so and give yourself that grace and that permission as well. Okay, it's okay that you don't know everything. It's okay that you don't know what you want to do. I always say, you know, I'm here in my position now, but I don't know, you know, 5 years from now, things may change, right? And so, you know, as you plan for that you know, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? What do you want to do in the next semester or 1 year? So just wanted to impart some of that with you all. Okay. And again, thank you so much. You know, I do encourage you, feel free to, you know, as we're meeting our one-on-ones, we can definitely continue these conversations, connect with your bridge leaders and also with your high five partners, and continue to have these discussions. You know, it's the people that you surround yourself with that helps you to also bring you up and be successful, and you all bring each other up. Okay. So thank you again. I'm going to transition over to talking about just a quick surface level about preparing for registration for next week, and doing some for you all your own research on your majors or majors that you're interested in, and just sharing with you some resources. So later today, if you haven't already seen it, we have the Meet the Majors module for you all, so that you can get to know the different majors. So I'll just share that with you. And then I'm also going to share with you the university catalog. And so the university catalog, I'll put it into the chat box. The university catalog is where you can find all the majors. And this, what I tell my students is, this is your Bible, the Holy Quran for your, you know, for as a college student. We have our academic policies and our procedures in here. You know, the different programs and departments and the pathway. And so get to know this, the different student services, etc. I always refer to this as an advisor, so that we can take a look. Okay, well, let's look at what the policy says, right? Let's look at the grade change policy if we need to do that. Well, let's look at the student grading options that's available. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to programs by department, okay? And what you can see here is the different majors that we have. And then we also have minors. And so a major is your specific focus at Sonoma State, your expertise area. Some students will ask me, well, what is a minor? Do I have to declare a minor? And the answer is no, you don't have to declare a minor. It's up to you if you want to declare a minor. So in order to earn your degree here at Sonoma State, your degree equals 120 units, okay? And we'll talk more about this in our GE workshop, let's see, tomorrow. I'm just giving you a little taste of what it looks like. Your degree is 120 units. So 48 units of that is your general education. You're in at a liberal arts institution, so you're going to get a little bit of everything to help you, you know, just know what different subjects that we have in the world, and to, you know, help you grow as an individual and as a citizen. And then you have your major requirements, and most majors are between 36 to maybe 55 units. It really depends on the major. And then whatever doesn't fall in your GE or your major, you then also have university electives. And that's where students can choose that they want to focus their university electives. And that's any classes at Sonoma State. If they want to do a minor, some students choose to do a double major. So so it really depends on your path and what you like to do. I have a colleague who, you know, their major was psychology and they loved music. And so they did a minor in music just because that was their passion. They didn't want to, you know, focus their major on the music, but they wanted to still be able to, you know, take music classes, right? And so I have students who love art. They don't particularly want to do that as a major, but they still want to do art because that's been something that has helped them, you know, growing up. And so There's so many different ways that you can, go about earning your degree at Sonoma State. And as your advisor, I'll go ahead and, work with you on, okay, what is it that you see yourself doing, what interests you, etc. So I encourage you to look at, let's say, I'm just gonna, pull up anthropology as a major. So here's the degree requirements, okay, in anthropology. And sometimes the classes that you take for your major also falls in to the GE. So I like to call them your double, your 1-for-2 class. You take one class that hits 2 different areas, or even sometimes 3 different areas. And then it gives you the major core requirements. So all students who are in this major has to take these 4 classes that are the core. And then you can, take different classes in like the concentration. Some majors have concentrations and major elective units. And so I just want to make sure that I share this with you all. So take some time to look through that, okay? And then I'm going to just pop over to our Canvas course here and go into our module for today, since we have the Meet the Majors module. So down here, just a quick reminder, we have our Black Faculty and Staff Association and Black Student Union meeting today at 1. So please go ahead and join in. So let me see, where is Meet the Majors? So here is Meet the Majors module. So we have 6 different schools at Sonoma State that houses our majors and minors. And so let's say if you are a psychology major, then your school will be social sciences. If you're a biology major or chemistry major, then your school would be the science and tech, okay? So there is the different majors, and then we have a first year advising guide. So I'll just click on this so that you can see each department on campus at Sonoma State, they have an individual slide for their particular major, okay? And so you have AIMCS. So, this is a quick little snapshot of, what does this, major entail? And again, some majors, there's minors as well. So you can see for art and art history, they have a minor in art history, a minor in art studio. We also have a Bachelor of Fine Arts, and so and a bachelor's as well, a BA. So look through that, and there's a lot of great resources. And then this link, the first year advising guide, these are for each particular major. So I'm just going to look at biochemistry. This is pretty neat, and so it just focuses on your first year as a student. What are the recommended classes for your first year? And again, I'll be working closely with you in preparation for next week on Wednesday for registration. And I'll just put another call out there. If you haven't met with me yet for your 101, please do sign up. I still have, as far as when I looked yesterday, 11 students who have not signed up with me yet. And so this is an opportunity for us to prepare and get to know each other, just to make sure that you're feeling good and ready for registration next week, okay? And for those of you who I've already met with, feel free to sign up again and we'll connect as well. So this is, a fall and a spring semester. So again, I just want to make sure that we went over this with you, just so you can prepare, okay? Any questions?
I have one.
Yes, go ahead.
So I do plan on double majoring, but they told me to let my advisor as soon as I can. My plan. I think I scheduled for today with you, so I don't know if we could touch base on that, or if you could like explain how the double majoring works, because I don't know if there's other students that would like to know maybe.
Yes, of course. Yes. Dylan, definitely. Let's meet and connect about double majoring. So basically, as a double major, you can choose to, let's say I really love psychology and I really love sociology. Those 2 subjects I've always been interested in. And as you read through the course descriptions, you just find yourself as I want to double major in psychology and sociology. And so Essentially, let's say if you are currently a psychology major and you want to add sociology, there's a change of major process that we'll have you complete and fill out. Well, those two examples, psychology and sociology, they're impacted. So we have 12 impacted majors at Sonoma State. And so what that means is, in order for you to be able to be that major, you have to apply and meet certain requirements, okay? And so, for example, I'm a psychology major coming in as a first-year student. I would like to add sociology as a major. That's an impact major. So then what I'll work with you on is making sure that you take Sociology 201, whether it's fall semester or spring semester. Once you've taken that class and you've earned a 2.5 GPA, that's the requirements for sociology, then you can apply to that major, okay? And so then usually have a time frame of like early January for fall semester. They'll start accepting applications in September. Let students know in October, because in November, that's when you'll register for classes for spring. So they want to make sure that you know if you've been accepted into the major. One cool thing is, you heard me say there's 12 impacting majors. Kinesiology and communications, they are impacted. However, for our first year students, they are actually waiving that extra application process requirements. And so if you're interested in one of those majors, let me know so that we can have you change your add or change your major. And so typically students have to take certain classes in order to even apply for those majors. But for our first year students, they're saying, hey, we'll take any students who would like to be in that that kinesiology or comms major, okay? So again, as your advisor, I know a little bit about a lot, right? And so I'm here to support you, and I want to make sure that you're on the path that's right for you, okay? So thank you for that, Dylan. I look forward to connecting with you later.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And then for the non-impacted majors, so let's say, I'll just choose a non-impacted major. So philosophy. So like for philosophy, if you're interested in philosophy as a major, we can have you change that, do the change of major form, and you'll be able to declare philosophy. It takes about 3 to 5 business days for the registrar's office to make that update in the system. But once they get that, then you'll be a declared philosophy major. Again, for the impacted majors, there's a little bit more of a process. You would have to connect with the department chair for an impacted major and see, if they would accept you as a major, et cetera. So that process takes a little bit longer. Non-impacted majors, you're good. We can get you changed right away. Okay. All right. Well, I do want to honor our time. I'm trying to keep it to the 9:50, but we're here at 9:55. Just a couple more things. Also today in the module for Thursday, we do also have our financial literacy through Redwood Credit Union. So Redwood Credit Union, sorry, that's my toddler in the background. Redwood Credit Union is a local credit union here in Sonoma County. I know that they have some branches in San Francisco and up north too. So these are modules that we deemed that we would like our students to get to know. Now we call them modules, but they are like I think the longest one is like 6 minutes long, and so it's just a little bit of information for you to get your feet wet to understand what it means to which one is this one? What it means to have a checking account, right? Or savings, and so we have the different modules here. So healthy financial habits, right? How do credit cards work? You're an adult now, so you can apply, but how does that work, and how does it impact your credit score? So there is that there. And then also, sorry, let me move this here. Oop, lost my page. And tomorrow we do have the optional Native and Indigenous student cohort gathering, and then our overview of the wellness day for tomorrow as well. And so tomorrow morning, we won't meet as a class. You all will have a live cooking demo from our culinary services, which is pretty neat. And so going to day 5 here, just click on this Wellness Day workshop and it'll take you to the live demonstration that our colleagues from the kitchens from culinary services will connect with you all about, okay? And then down here, I know we've talked about mental health and wellness. We have Dr. Erica Tom, who is our reading and writing lead. She has done a great video about self-care and stress management tips for you all as well. And so that is completely on your own time. I just wanted to make sure that I went over that with you all. All righty. Well, thank you all. And again, please sign up for my one-on-ones so that we can connect. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll see you, hopefully you will be joining us for our degree and GE overview tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you are a Hutchins major, then we do have a particular Hutchins degree overview at that same time too. And so our Hutchins students they have a different kind of degree track for our students who are in that Hutchins major, okay? Have a wonderful day. Kirsten and Vanessa, please stay on and take care, everyone. Thank you so much.